Today we're going to be going over the test corrections for the Unit 5 Quiz 2. Number 1 wants you to determine the value of the expression 6 divided by 15. That means it wants you to solve it. So I would start by setting it up and making your division table. Remember which number goes inside the table. It should always be the first number is inside and the second number is our divisor that goes outside of the tower. Make sure that you show your division work. If you can't do 15 into 6, you need to put a decimal and a 0 and consider it as 15 going into 60. Make sure to show your work, and when you're done, put the decimal in place. Number 2 wants us to select all expressions that are equivalent to 5.2 divided by 0.04. When you're doing this, consider what it would be if it were to be put into fraction form. Would 5.2 be equal to 52 tenths? And if so, is 0.04 equal to 4 hundredths? If it is, you'll want to check off that choice. Looking at B and C, I see it's taking both of them to look at whole numbers. I see in both B and C, it's divided by 4. So think about how would I change my 0.04 to be 4? And remember that when I set it up inside my tower, 5.2 divided by 0.04, whatever I do to the 0.04, I need to also do the same thing to 5.2. Show your thinking for that, and then see which one it is. Make sure you get all of them because it is asking you to find all expressions. I will give you a clue that there is more than one. For number 3, it tells us that Titus started dividing but didn't finish. We can actually see that he has a remainder down here. And we know for this unit, we don't want to have a remainder. So think about how you're going to get rid of that. Make sure you show your work, put your decimal and a 0, drop the 0 down, and then continue dividing. Repeat this process until you no longer have a remainder, and then choose which answer is going to match. When you're done, make sure you bring up the decimal. For number 4, it wants us to determine the value of each expression. Start by showing your work inside the division tower. The first number, 2.304, goes inside, and the second number is outside. Remember, we can't have a decimal in the outside, so make sure you move your decimal point. And whatever we do to the outside, we also need to do to the inside, so I'm going to move it 2 places over. Once you've done that, you're dividing by 6 instead of 0.06. Show your work for the division. Think about our steps of divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and repeat. Once you've done that, bring up the decimal at the end, and your answer should be up here on the top. For B, you're going to do very similar. Start by putting 15.48 inside the tower, and the 0.2 is on the outside. Remember again, I can't have the decimal on the outside, so show your work for how you're going to remove it and do the same thing inside the tower. In 5A, I'm looking at this scenario that Madison likes to run races. She recently ran 3.1 miles and a 6.7 mile race. So she ran one race that was 3.1 miles, and she ran another race that was 6.7. You need to figure out how many races has she run in all. Think about which operation, because I'm combining them and they're different things. We are going to be adding together. Make sure you have started your addition with the snowman. Madison's running buddy in B ran a total of 5.32 miles. Her goal, though, is to run 10 miles. So we need to figure out how many more she needs. If this is her goal of 10 miles and she has gone 5.32, you need to figure out how much more is here. This is one where you're going to be subtracting. Remember to show it, set up your division, your subtraction with the snowman. Think about which number should be going first based on our model. Put it in there and mark your work down. Make sure you either show or explain your thinking. If you've shown all of your steps here, including how it's lined up, you're regrouping, you don't need to do anything more because you've already shown that there. But if you skip some of those pieces, you need to explain how you get that answer. The last question is C, where it tells us that Madison plans to run 0.48 miles every day for the next 4 days. And we want to figure out how many miles she's going to run when those 4 days are over. So if you think through, and we're running 4 days, and each day is 0.48 miles, we are going through, and you can do repeated addition, or even easier would be to turn it into a multiplication and take your 0.48 and multiply it by 4. Make sure you show the work so you can get full credit in that problem.